Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Finance Magnets Blockchain Podcast. Today's guest is joining us from Tokyo, Mike, the co-founder and CEO of QUOINE. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
So before we get to the new project that we're here to talk about it, I wanted to get your take as as one of the first crypto exchanges to be to get a Japanese license. How do you see the market developing?
So there's a lot of things you need to do in order to give service, to provide service across entire the US. While Japan, you just need to get through the Japan FSA, which is not easy. But once you get that, you can provide your service to all Japanese. And with that, we see a huge uptake on the transaction volume, especially around Bitcoin, because Japan is a big Bitcoin country. Ethereum is still very small. It's marginal. But when you look at Bitcoin, the top 5 global exchanges, of it, maybe 3 or 4 are Japanese exchanges.
Indeed.
And Japan will lead this because it's the only place that you can legitimately provide an exchange service to customers.
I see. Yeah, well, definitely the comparison to the U.S., which is a more fractured market, is interesting, which I think most people don't think about. So I want to hear about your new project that you're launching a token sale for next month, right? November 6th, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so let me talk a little bit of my background and a little how we came abroad, right? So prior to founding QUOINE, which is a cryptocurrency exchange and a blockchain startup, I used to work at SoftBank. So I was in charge of SoftBank Asia, including India, Southeast Asia. And one thing I noticed is when I travel across Southeast Asia, I had to have each local currency. So if I go to Philippines, I need a Philippine peso, Indonesia rupiah, Malaysia ringgit, Singapore dollar. So in my passport book, I would have all these local currencies. To me, it was almost a no-brainer if there was some kind of a coalition or some kind of a token that I could use wherever I go. And obviously, to me, that was Bitcoin, right? Still, the utility of Bitcoin is still not there. But when you look in the future, cash and money is going to go digital. It's going to go branchless, and it's going to be borderless. And that's why we knew that there was an opportunity for a cryptocurrency exchange. So that's why we started QUOINE. And currently we have 2 products. One is a fully regulated crypto fiat exchange. So this is, for example, Bitcoin and Japanese yen, or Bitcoin and Hong Kong dollar. So this is an exchange that allows the exchange between cryptocurrency and fiat. And because it touches fiat, it needs to be regulated in each country that regulates. But that said, there's only one country that regulates as a country, and that's Japan. Philippines will be end of this year, and we will be the first exchange to be licensed in the Philippines as well. Korea said they're going to regulate. Singapore is going to regulate as well, but that's going to take a little bit more time. But the trend is regulation, right? So it's good and it has its pros and cons, but as long as you touch fiat, it needs to be regulated. So COINEX, which is our regulated exchange, that's our main flagship exchange. We also have another one called Cryptos. So Cryptos is a crypto-only exchange. So it doesn't touch fiat. So it's much more easier to scale, right? So we can provide in Russian, or we can provide in Hindi, we can even provide in Chinese, where they can all exchange their local currency into Bitcoin in their local markets. And then they can deposit or fund their account on cryptos, and then they can trade on all the 20 or 30 top cryptocurrencies that they want. right? And if they want to withdraw, they can withdraw in crypto. So this doesn't touch fiat. And the beauty of cryptos is this is also going to be an ICO platform, and it's going to be self-service. So if you're a token issuer and you're thinking about issuing a token, you will sign up with us as a self-service. We'll make sure that it's not an equity token, that it's utility, and that it's an ERC20. And once it passes that, you can do an initial offering there. And the beauty is after that, it's already an exchange. So you can start exchanging there as well. You don't have to wait for Bittrex or any of these places to accept your listing. So these are the two exchanges that we have. And this led to our new one, and that is the liquid platform. So when I started Coin 3.5 years ago, maybe there were 100 tokens, and Bitcoin was 80%, 90% of the entire market cap. So that was quite easy. But now with, I think there's like 200 ICOs ongoing. There's thousands of new tokens that are issued every year. What's going to happen to these tokens when token issuers, yeah, they're okay selling it to their buyers or customers, but where's that liquidity, right? So liquidity right now is in Bitcoin and maybe Ethereum. But even for Bitcoin and Ethereum, its liquidity is in these exchanges, right? There could be in a certain, like Euro Bitcoin could be in Europe, right? US dollar and Bitcoin can be in the US. For people who live in Asia, they don't have access to these places. So that's why the crypto market, as big as it's getting, it has a fundamental problem, which is liquidity. And what we do is we connect all these exchanges. So we're connected to 3 of the top 4 in the US. We're connected to the largest in Europe, largest in Hong Kong, largest in Korea. We're one of the largest in Japan. So we connect with all these exchanges, and these are all liquidity silos. We combine all of this into one order book, and we call this the world book, right? So a customer or a trader will not need to go and register with each exchange. They just need to come to this one platform, and they would have access to the global liquidity, right? So it's not only, I'm not talking about Bitcoin or Ethereum, because some exchange might have IOTA, another might have EOS, another might have 10x, right? So if we combine all of those into one single platform, so the customer will be able to trade here. And the more trading happens, that means there's more liquidity that the entire ecosystem will benefit.
I see.
So no one has been doing that so far.
And is this designed only for end user? Meaning, if I'm, if I want to set up my own exchange here, or if I'm, a broker and I want to have liquidity, is that something that I can use the platform for to get liquidity? As a like a B2B model?
Yes, exactly. And the whole purpose of why you need a liquid platform is until recently, it was only B2C, right? What we see now is global institutional investors coming in. It could be online brokerages, like a broker. It could be a family office, a hedge fund, an institutional investor. Like just last week, we spoke with Goldman Sachs, and Goldman Sachs said they have a fair amount of institutional investors, and these are like large institutional investors who are interested in. Wait, I think I lost you. Are you still there?
No, I'm still here.
All right. They mentioned they have institutional investors who are interested in coming in. So mainstream Wall Street is going to come into this sector, whether they like it or not, or whether the crypto world is ready or not, or the exchanges are ready or not, they're going to come in. And that will make the current market cap of cryptocurrency is about 180 billion or 190 billion. When mainstream comes in, this is going to be 200 trillion. Right? And where do they go for liquidity? There's no other place. So the liquid platform is going to be for traders, institutional investors, hedge funds, liquidity providers, family offices, brokers, banks, anybody who are interested in cryptocurrency. This is the place for them to come. We have all the tool sets for these professional traders to come in. And the more they trade, the more liquidity is provided to the entire crypto token ecosystem.
I
And
see that.
if I were to add, I apologize,
No.
I'm going to add one more. That's not enough, right? When you look at traditional finance, when hedge funds and institutional investors come in and they might say, I want to short this certain stock, like Herbalife, like one of these big hedge funds wanted to short it. So they need to borrow that stock somewhere. I'm getting similar inquiries. 2 weeks ago, a European hedge fund came to me and said, hey, Mike, can you procure the top 30 crypto tokens? Because they want to short it, right? And I'm like, wow, you're really going against the trend. But those are the things that institutional investors want to do. And so you call these prime brokerage service. So like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, Citi, they provide these brokerage services. You call these prime brokerage services to institutional investors, so that they can manage fiat. Like they can really efficiently move fiat. If they want to short a certain crypto, they need to procure it. If they want credit so that they can leverage it, they can. So all of these brokerages service is not existent in the crypto world. So we're combining the World Book, which is aggregating the entire liquidity in the world, also combining that with prime brokerage service so that this will allow cryptocurrencies to become mainstream. And we call this the liquid platform.
I see. This is very interesting. Coming from the world of FX, definitely you can see that there's a need for prime brokerage and secondary markets and other services in order to have, like you said, hedge funds coming in and trying to short a cryptocurrency. That's that's pretty brave.
Exactly.
And so I wanted to know, you've raised like just last year, you've raised over $20 million from the biggest VCs in Japan. So I wanted to know from you, how do you see that process of working with VCs in comparisons to ICOs?
Yeah, so that's a good point. So we raised 20 million from VCs. I still have that 20 million in the bank. So we're profitable. We're already 75 people, and we're going to double that this year. We're also one of the few cryptocurrency startups that have Deloitte, and I'm not supposed to mention it. I have to say Big Four, but Deloitte is our global auditor. Mm-hmm. And we're also regulated and licensed in Japan. So from that perspective, I can just continue my business, the COINEX, which is the regulated exchange, and Cryptos, which is the ICO platform. But I feel, and I have a mission, a social mission, to make the crypto token world mainstream. Mm-hmm. So I would recommend everybody to come and see our website, because when you look at our management team, I worked at SoftBank, and my CFO I also brought from SoftBank, but everybody else worked at global banks like Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Deutsche Bank. So our management team came from mainstream, and they knew that cryptocurrency is going to become mainstream sooner or later. Like it or not, it's going to come back. And someone needs to be that bridge. Someone needs to be that intersection. And we are that. And in order to do that, we need that liquid platform. And for this liquid platform to work, we need to raise for liquidity. And the reason is very simple. So people ask me, why are you trying to raise 100 million? Or why are you trying to raise 150 million? We're very different from like Tezos or EOS or just people who raise it for the sake of raising it. And then they have this internal fight. We're very clear, because, for example, if we connect with these 15 exchanges, but maybe we connect like always. There's a preferred 5 exchanges, and for these exchanges, we need to deposit like 10 million, right? Because there's no like global guideline among the exchanges.
Mhm.
And when I combine all these and a customer comes in and wants to put a buy order or sell order and it goes to a certain exchange, if I don't have deposit there, that order will not be filled,
Mhm.
right? There is no such thing as we both extend credit or there's IOU or there's netting out. That will happen in the future, but right now there isn't. So in order for us to provide a liquid platform, we need to deposit a certain amount of reserves, like our balance sheet, in order to provide this liquid platform. And that's why we need to do that. And normally you don't raise that as an equity. You raise that as normally a debt or some kind of instrument. And ICO is the best way to do that.
I see. So basically, the company wants it, to do the ICO to raise reserve capital, right? So you'd
Exactly.
have more
Liquidity
access,
capital.
liquidity capital. And what about the investors, right? People are looking to, they're checking. Like we said, there's like 1,000 new ICOs a day. Why should they choose liquid?
Yes, because they will benefit as well. So all the people who participate in ICOs, they all have challenges. Where can I sell it? Right? So I hope all the people who participate in ICOs are long-term holders because they should support the mission, the cause. They should enjoy the journey. But I do see a lot of people who just pump and dump,
Mhm.
right? Especially like advisors who get in a good price. That's why we don't have any advisors. When you look at our website, we will show our board of directors and our angel investors. These people are long term. We don't bring in like last minute advisors who have zero accountability and they probably get deep discounts they promote and they sell.
Mhm.
That's the bad thing of this ICO. That's actually like this it's disrupting and it's destroying value, right? So we're very different, and all of our investors are participating in our ICO. Everybody,
Mhm.
because they support it, right? And so that's the beauty of our ICO is the more liquid the platform becomes, the more it benefits a token issuer and a
Mhm.
token holder. Like a token issuer, once they raise capital or they sell their token, they have two things. They have a fiduciary responsibility to first deliver their product. But this could take years, right? Some people promise like they're going to build this crazy new blockchain. So that's their first responsibility. The second responsibility is to provide a place where there's liquidity and price stability,
Mhm.
right? So those are the two responsibilities token issuers have. So every day I will have token issuers come to me say, Mike, can you list our token? Right? Our token issuers are like just knocking on our door saying like, when are you going to list it? And especially they want to list it on our regulated exchange, right? So liquidity is the single most important thing, not only for institutional investors, but token issuers and also token holders. So I would recommend every person who's participated in any ICO in the past should actually join us because by this liquid platform becoming bigger, they will benefit as well.
I see. Okay, I know you're in a hurry. Do we have time for one last question?
Of course, of course.
Great, thank you. So, what's the timetable? What are we looking at in terms of implementation? Like, when should we expect? You know, assuming that the ICO is very successful, when should we start seeing actions?
Yeah, so there's two things. One is on the product side and one is on the liquidity side, right? The product, the core technology, we already use at Coin Exchange on cryptos. The matching engine, the smart order routing, the real-time currency conversion, the market making engine. So all of these we have. So our core, we have zero product risk. So when you look at a lot of startups who raise capital, I would say 90% will fail. I mean, that's the nature of startups, right? Even if they have the best intention with the best people, 90% will fail. We're
That's
already
that's
profitable.
mhm. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, no, I'm saying
that's startup.
that's the standard. So definitely that's
Exactly.
going to be
Exactly. So
ICOs.
a lot of people who participate in ICOs need to understand that when they participate, 90% will fail. I mean, that's the nature. But we're different. Our technology is already used in production. We have the most advanced matching engine, and we're already profitable, right? And we're regulated. So from that perspective, on the product side, there's nothing to worry about. And the liquidity side. So when we are going to have our public sale, November the 6th, so it's about 2 weeks. I do have a little bit of concern on the SegWit 2X and the hard fork,
Hmm.
right? So during our ICO, this hard fork will happen. And then what's going to happen with the replay attack? And so that is a concern that I have.
Hmm.
But assuming that becomes a non-issue, because we already have exchanges, we have a crypto-only exchange in cryptos, we also have a crypto fiat exchange in CoinEx, our cash token is going to be listed on day one.
Hmm.
Also, we have a partnership. So I mentioned that we're connected to these 15 exchanges.
Hmm.
Of these, a selected few will list our token on the same day,
Ah,
right?
I see.
So I've already made an announcement that Bitfinex will list our token on the same day that we list it on our exchange. So when you think about it, even if you're a high flying ICO, you can't really control when do you want your tokens listed, and especially in non-crypto only exchanges, right? Maybe like
Mhm.
Bittrex, Poloniex, Liqui, some of these, but these are all crypto only exchanges. But we're going to be listing on CoinEx. It's also going to be on Bitfinex. There's a few others that we will probably make an announcement, right? So from day one, it will be listed. So there will be liquidity. So it's very different from all the other token sales as well. And tentatively, right,
Mhm.
I'm thinking about December 1st.
I see.
But again, I need to see how the hard fork works and all these things. But we will decide and we will make an announcement that when it's going to be listed, we'll share it with our community. And on that day, it will be listed on Bitfinex as well.
I see. And do you have other than Bitcoin, do you have other wallets for the ICO?
Yes, we do. We do. So it's a ERC20, and for people, so there's also a little difference where I would like people to understand is we are going to do it in a safe and secure way, right? So a first time ICO or token issuer, it's actually their first time. Normally, like when you do an IPO, people like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley, they kind of help you through the entire process. Token ICOs, you got to do it yourself. So on the token day, they'll have this Ether address, but hackers, ICO hacking is becoming $1 billion business, right? So what they do on that day is they will do a denial of service attack. They will do a DDoS attack, and then they'll take over all your social channels and say, hey guys, you're going to miss out. We're under attack. So this is the new Ethereum address. Please deposit. And boom, it's stolen and you'll never recover. Every token issuer has been attacked. They just don't make that public, right? And the people who participate are the people who it's unfortunate, right? So that's why we use cryptos, our crypto only exchange. People need to register beforehand, and for each and every purchaser, we give them a unique Bitcoin and Ethereum address only for them, and they will fund it prior to the sale. And on the sale day, they can just buy it on our platform. So there's no rush. There's no like I need to send it there, and if I send it from an exchange, I get lost. So none of those are. We will do it in a secure and safe way. And assuming this is the right way, we believe this is the safest and the secure way to do. So this will be part of our launch ICO platform, and we will be the first case. Our
I see.
cash ICO will be the first ICO using our cryptos platform.
That's a very smart innovation, which I hope more platforms and individual ICOs will adopt, because like you said, we've seen a lot of even people contacting me and saying, because they send their money to a fake address, right, after after a DDoS attack, or just lost money because they sent it from an exchange, not understanding how it works. So it's good that you're taking security in mind.
Of course, because as a regulated exchange, security is the most important thing, right? And an ICO should be like that, right? You should not worry about, because hackers, they hack every ICO, so they're so knowledgeable. They understand where to attack. Well, a token issuer, you only do an ICO once, right? So you're always a beginner. So obviously the knowledge between a hacker and a token issuer is like very different, right? That's why they should use a platform like Cryptos. And we already have traders there who are interested to participate in ICOs. So any token issuer who wants to do an ICO should do it on our platform.
Nice. So that's a nice note to end on.
Exactly.
I want to thank you very much, Mike, and I'm sorry for keeping you up a bit longer than planned. And I want to thank all our audience, and please like, share, and subscribe so you can keep following us for more such interesting interviews. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. So if I can say one thing before you close is,
Of course.
our cash token is already approved as a cryptocurrency in Japan. So we're one of the certified official cryptocurrencies. So it's very different from other tokens. And if we're successful, I believe Cash Token will be a top 3 market cap, global market cap token in the near future. So this is, I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for anybody to participate in our ICO. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's definitely something we'll have to follow, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon.
Exactly. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.